Hello, chào các bạn, chào mừng các bạn đã quay trở lại với channel của mình. Và hôm nay chúng ta cùng tiếp tục đến với series đọc truyện Peter Pan cùng mình, Peter Pan bản tiếng Anh, và đây sẽ là phần số 27. Okay, let's go. We are on the rock, Wendy, he said, but it's growing smaller. Soon the water will be over it. She did not understand, even now. We must go, she said, almost ready. Yes, he answered faintly. Shall we swim or fly, Peter? He had to tell her, do you think you could swim or fly as far as the island, Brandy, without my help? She had to admit that she was too tired. He moaned. What is that? She asked, anxious about him at once. I can't help you, Wendy. Hook wouldn't me. I can neither fly nor swim. Do you mean we shall both be drowned? Look how the water is racing. They put their hands over their eyes to shut the sight. They thought they would soon be no more. As they sat there, something brushed against Peter as light as a kiss and stayed there. As if saying terribly, can I be of any use? It was the tail of a kite, which Michael had made some days before. It had torn itself out of his hand and floated away. Michael's kite, Peter said without interest, but next moment he had seized the tail and was pulling the kite toward him. It lifted Michael off the ground, he cried. Why should it not carry you? Both of us. It can lift too, Michael encouraged, trying. Let us draw lots, Granny said bravely. And you a lady? Never. Already he had tied that tail around her. She clung to him. She refused to go without him. But with a goodbye, Wendy, he pushed her from the porch, and in a few minutes she was borne out of his sight. Peter was alone in the lagoon. The rock was very small. Now, soon it would be submerged. Pale rays of light tipped across the waters, and by there was two. He had heard a sound at once, the most musical and the most melancholy in the world. The mermaids calling to the moon, showing one of Peter's peculiarities, which was that in the middle of the fight he would suddenly change size. At the gush, when victory was still in the balance, sometimes learning this way, and sometimes that, he came out. I'm rescued today. What are you, Toodles? And Toodles answered, Rescue, what are you, Nips? And Nips said, Reskin. Reskin, what are you, Tin? And so on. And they were all Redskins. And of course it was half ended the fight, and had not real Redskin, fascinated by Peter's methods, agreed to be lost boys for that one. And so I did. We all went again, more fiercely than ever. The extraordinary upshot of this adventure was, but we have not decided yet. This is the adventure we are to narrate. Perhaps a better one would be night attack by the Redskins on the house under the ground, when several of them stuck in the hollow trees, and better one who would be the night attack by the Redskins on the house under the ground, when several of them stuck in the hollow trees and had to be pulled out like cocks. Or we might tell how Peter saved Tiger Lily's life in the mermaid's lagoon, and so made her his ally. Or we could let or we could tell that cake, um, their parents cooked so that the boys might eat and perish, and how they placed it in one cunning spot after another, but only tried to draw it in there, and they had to play by themselves. For the myth immediately disappeared. Nevertheless, we have proof that they secretly watch their interlopers and were not above taking an idea from them. For John introduced a new way of heating the bubble with the head instead of the hand, and the mermaids adopt it. It is the one mark that John has left on the Neverland. It must also have been rather pretty to see the children resting on the rock for half an hour after being midday meal. Wendy insisted on their doing this, and it had to be real rest, even though the meal was make-believe. So they lay there in the sun, and their bodies listened in it. Why? She sat beside them. Wendy insisted on their doing this. There was fine struggle in which the cut glass was torn from the pirate's gaps. He winkled overboard, and John leaped after him. The dignity dripped away. Here or there, a head bore up in the water, and there was a flash of steel followed by a cry or a whoop. In their confusion, some struck in at their own side. The cock crew of Smee got 2 toes in 4th rib, but he was himself pinned in turn by Curly Father from Rock. Starkey was pressing slightly on the twins' heart. Where all this time was Peter? He was seeking bigger game. The others were all brave boys, and they must not be blamed for biking from the pirate captain. His iron claw made a circle of dead water around him, from which they fled like affrighted fishes. But there was one who did not fear him. He perished, and to one of her race more terrible than deadly by fire or torrent, for it is not written in the book of the trip that there is no path through water to the happy hunting ground. That her fate was impassive. She was daughter of the ship. She must die as a ship daughter. It is enough. They had caught her boarding the pirate ship with a knife in the mouth. No watch was kept on the ship. It is being Hope's boat that the wind of his name guard the ship for a mile round. Now her fate would have to guard it also. One more whale would go to round in that wind by night. In the gloom that they brought with them, the 2 pirates did not see the rock till they crashed into it. Live, you lubber! Cried an Irish voice that was me. Here's the rock. Now, then, what we have to do is to hoist the Redskin on to it and leave her here to drown. It was worth one of the brutal moments to land